What's up everyone, my name is RoyaleRebelle, and in this video I'm sharing my thoughts on a new shooter game called Deceive Inc. Deceive Inc. is a shooter strategy game by the indie studio Sweet Bandit Studios. In the game, you're playing a spy who has to infiltrate and extract a package before the other spies do. While extracting with the package is the primary win con, players can also win by eliminating all other spies in the match. Matches are divided into 3 phases. Insertion, where the main focus is to gather intel and find upgrades for your character. Infiltration, which is heading into the vault to grab the package. And extraction, which is just getting to an exit and calling for extraction. One of the mechanics I like about the extraction phase is that while carrying the package, your location is pinged in regular intervals, giving away an approximate location of where you and the package are. Meaning, when you grab the package, there really is a sense of urgency to hurry up and get out because everyone is going to know where you are and is going to be coming for you. During the missions, players have the ability to disguise themselves as different NPCs. You start off disguised as a civilian, but in order to sneak into locked off areas to find your upgrades and other equipment, it will require you to upgrade your cover as well. The options you can disguise yourselves as are civilian, staff, security, researcher, and VIP. Currently, there are 4 maps to play on: Silver Reef, Hard Cell, Fragrant Shore, and Diamond Spire. When loading into the match, you can actually see what the mission you'll be going on is, along with who the VIP is on that mission map. Currently, the game offers 2 play modes, single player and teams of 3. There is currently a choice of 9 different characters you can play as. Although only 3 are unlocked at the start, the rest you can unlock pretty quickly in the game with in-game currency. It took me about total 5 hours of gameplay to unlock the entire roster. Each character has its own unique ability called expertise in the game, passive ability, and weapons, and the characters are honestly diverse enough to support a variety of playstyles. Now, just to be honest, I'm usually not the biggest fan of shooters. If I'm in a mood for something like that, my go-to is usually Overwatch because it is different than most shooter games. Like, the weapons are pretty diverse and not normal, as a way to put it. Or if I do get some time with my husband, we'll sometimes play Call of Duty. But I will admit that a lot of this has to do with me being not super skilled with shooters. I didn't get to play them a lot growing up, and I just never got the time to dedicate them like most people who play them now do. But this is why I tend to be more drawn to asymmetrical horror games. If you check out the other videos on my channel, you'll mostly see that they have to do with horror games. And those just happen to be more in line with my skill set. But the thing I enjoy most about Deceived Inc. is that even though it is a shooter game, the strategy is still a very big part of it. Like, you can get decently far in this game by being a good strategist. For me, I've noticed that the more that I stick to the strategy that I think works best, the longer I'm able to last in matches. Like, if you're smart enough in this game, it's not so difficult to track where your competitors are. And if you're someone who gets consistently found, there are more than a few characters whose expertise are made to get you out of that situation. I also think that the maps are large enough that if you want to lay low and have that type of playstyle where you just build yourself up as you go and kind of want to avoid conflict, they're big enough to do that. But at the same time, there are tools and abilities players can use that, so if you want to be the person that gets into fights early, like if you want to take people out as soon as possible, you can play more aggressively. Like, this game supports that as well, which I think is awesome. Honestly, the fact is that this game does such a good job of encompassing so many different play styles. That's like my favorite part of it. There are different decks you can put together, which is where your field upgrades around the map come from. These upgrades range from your hacking speed to your intel capacity, your expertise cooldown, your cover regeneration, as well as increasing your maximum health and ammo capacity. It really allows players to upgrade themselves in a way that benefits them the best. And the fact that they give you 4 different decks per character means that, like, if one style just isn't working for you, it's a really easy swap to a different deck that'll better synergize with your playstyle. I will say I do have a small beef with the decks, and it's that they're assigned to specific characters. So meaning you could build out all 4 decks, but it only applies to one character. They don't transfer should you decide to play a different character. And honestly, this is just a minor thing, but I think the way that the decks work and the fact that we do get 4 of them, I think it should just be 4 across the account period, or maybe if you want more, make it 6 or something, because I really doubt that people need 4 different decks per character, because then we're talking whatever 4 times 9 is 36. That's a lot of different loadouts that you have to build each time. In addition to the weapons, expertise, and agent kits, players also get 2 gadgets that they can bring along with them. These are categorized across defense, traps, deception, and recon. Again, there's a plethora of ways that these can further build on a player's playstyle. Honestly, there's only one major thing I would change about this game, and that's just opening up weapons across characters. There are definitely characters that I like their expertise and their passive, but I don't like their weapons. Larson is my biggest example of this. His expertise allows you to turn invisible, which is great for escaping if you're losing a fight, and his passive is probably one of the more interesting ones. It allows you to steal items off players with your melee attack. but his gun is a pea shooter. It's most effective at close range, and in this game, most of the weapons are mid-range, which really means you need to be on top of where the other players are, because they'll be able to take you down quicker from a farther range. And I feel like I would have so much better synergy with this character if I could just get rid of the pea shooter. And it's the same way with some of the other characters as well. I think they have really interesting abilities, but I just haven't touched them because I don't think I'll work well with their weapons. But overall, this has been such a fun game to play. It's not too common that I find a shooter game that puts such a heavy emphasis on strategy, and that's what I really appreciate about this game. It brings a fun twist to shooters, and even though this game has only been out for a few months, it released in late March. They're already announcing some upcoming content, and I'm really excited to learn what it is. But those are my thoughts on Deceive Inc. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so I can bring you more Deceive Inc content. And if you want to check out my Twitch streams, don't forget to follow me there so you can be notified of when I go live.